This is Rise Together News. As we talked about in a previous post, mythology is a way of presenting truth in story form in order to bypass possible defense mechanisms or triggers, allowing readers to glean insights and discover deep truths that they might otherwise have missed. And as we know, Church Fathers deprived us of truths we might have otherwise discovered through reading the Bible, by claiming that the Bible presents an absolutely accurate and literal history chronicling the creation and management of the world, including us humans. And they must have thought we would never bother to pick it up and read it for ourselves, that we would always just take their word for it regarding what it says, because their Mr. Big Britches God, or at least his scribe, sort of messed up when he started their story of the eternal God who created a world without end with what? An end. Yes, the God who always was starts his book with, "In the beginning." Okay, so he's not all that bright, as we see right away. Now remember, the Church Fathers pasted the word God over what was actually there, Elohim. So for now, let's just go with the Church Fathers' editing job. Here are the first two verses of the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So we have this eternal God saying that the world without end had a beginning, so it's actually not a world without end. Then he says the earth was without form and void, which means it was completely empty, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. What? Face, as in the surface, which is a form, of the deep, which is also a form. Now, according to Merriam-Webster, when the word deep is used as a noun, it means sea, like ocean. So he's saying that the earth was without form except it was the sea. And we know that's what it means, because then he says the Spirit of God, which also denotes a form, moved upon the face or surface of the waters. So this earth without form absolutely had a form when this God shows up. Interestingly, neither the authors nor translators bothered to cover up these obvious contradictions. This is why I suspect that they actually intended for us to see them and figure out what's going on here. They're telling a story, but telling it in such a way as to signal us to look elsewhere for the facts, like someone is holding the writer hostage, and whoever it is who's holding the writer hostage isn't smart enough to see that the writer is screaming SOS through the whole thing. I suspect that the writer can't come out with it, or they'd be killed. So they gave us truths among lies, hoping against hope that us Homo sapiens, humans of wisdom, will be wise enough to see what's going on. And that, my friends, is exactly what we have today in the media. In mainstream, and especially in independent truther intel media. They're handing you obvious lies so you'll figure it out and save them and yourselves. And I think you've figured it out. Now what I'm wondering is, when will you get to the saving part? That's all for now. I'm Cindy K. Courier. See you next time.